It's a bright sunny day for a very informal poetry reading. So we'll just see how this goes. Some of these poems go back to 1980. This is a really old one. I'm just going to start. Creativity is the offspring of the soul, fueled by the heart, which provides the raw materials. They alone discriminate between event and routine, the cherished and the forgotten. This is Cactus Wren. Passion evaporates and you miss it like the desert misses rain. So you grow bristled and bizarre, sporting barbs and leaves that don't look like leaves at all, but deadly spikes. And then the ridges and rills appear, like an alligator's scutes. Careful, sharp, nature's way of saying, do not touch. Unless you're a horned lizard, or an oddly browed roadrunner, or a nervy cactus wren, who says you're perfect and burrows a nest hole near your heart. Then you dare look up again, into the sun, and maybe once this life it rains, and all the other dry and dormant husks, long waiting, burst their joy in softly waving color. What delight for bats and birds. Cliff Runner. Alas, I fear she has run so far, so fast, as Mercury on winged heels, to cliff's brink and boundary, only to stop short, wrenching herself back, tearing up turf and tree, digging into that hallowed ground she knows so well. Too much, too soon. She stops, a pillar of salt, cold. Will she ever melt again? Soft and flowing, loving humanity, sprint once more over tired terrain to cliff's edge, springing carelessly over it, knowing all along she can fly. Awaiting equinox. As leaves tremble, shimmering in dressy hues of death, and cling through, drying, the weakening flow of sap, and at last, when the breeze is exactly right, fall in spiraling dance, lovely twists and turns, to rest among the gnarling feet of parent trees. So are concerns, worries, passions, isolating themselves from twines and tendrils and stems, and all life's complexities. The concentration, burning colors, saffron, cyan, russet for the last days. That's all you see now, the rage long hidden, masked by lusty, productive greens. But the fury made them go. Don't you realize that? And now passion itself departing gracefully. After all, letting go is what we do. We hoary crones and wizards, that's where we retreat for autumn and brace for winter. To ideas and dreams and the comfort of soft blue skin moccasins and hopi designs gently woven into blankets that hold me close these days that tremble, shimmering. A little sparrow, two little sparrows, just alighted and took off very quickly, but it was real sweet to see them down there. And there's the brown thrasher up in one of the oak trees. This one is a small ashen shell. I will leave a small ashen asymmetrical shell, a univalve, after all the failed joinings, and there is every possibility you will pass me by unnoticed, and even tread upon me. But you shall not fear, nor shall I, as it will only press me closer to the earth, my home, and you needn't be concerned for breakage, as I'm not brittle, but tempered by every element you can imagine, and then some. I lived here once, within this outer shelter, bright and bold and prized and sought and captured and discarded. Lifetimes washed over me, buried me, threw me skipping over water, flung me heavenward, locked me away in a closet, sent me by truck and ship and plane. How did I ever end this way? You might lift me to your cheek tenderly near and hear my story. The next life around, you may not be so lucky. You may be born without 2 arms, 2 legs, a brain even, and Persephone. You may be born a blind mole rat, ever naked, chewing always, underground, eating earth. You may be born perfect, but flightless, dazzling plumage, dulcet-voiced, caged forever. You may be born to madness, an over-bright world, multi-gifted, producing monsters, moldering unknown. Or born an eagle, conceived on wind, tearing prey, devouring pulsing hearts. So best not fret about life now. Perhaps a worse one waits. Black gold. If the elders knew about oil, black gold, Texas tea, they kept silent. Perhaps they believed it was Mother Earth's own detritus, a private thing not politely spoken of, but deposited, deeply buried, as they themselves managed their own waste. Later, as knowledge grew, elders knew oil was what remained of ancient departed plants and animals, trees and ferns and dinosaurs, and creatures so fantastic they mourned not knowing them. Thus, sacred remains. How aghast they are! Still, we moderns refuse this simple truth. We desecrate hallowed ground, siphoning up her beloved loss. Ugly, mindless, like malformed birds, the pumps deface enduring desert scrub, where the most ingenious, tenacious, and wise scurry under cover and hide themselves from this shame, this horror, this sacrilege. March came softly. March came softly, no lion in winter, dragon's breath shrouding the canal, the green sigh of photosynthesis, enveloping secret narratives, swallowing grief, welcoming odes to joy infrequently, as joy comes best in small packages. Of life full throttle up, like pine warblers near bursting from prim and proper dress gray, morning coat formal, their penetrating whistle whine, euphonia of the trees, announcing pollen feasts and larval banquets. Fill up, my pretties, northern homelands urge the long flight back. You risk it all, barely waking, so deep that slumber, so lean the journey's fare. Death if you go, death if you don't. So I hope you enjoyed these. If this turns out at all, I will make some more. That's all for now. Thank you.